Hello, my friend. Come sit with me for a little while. I am 108 years old. Yes, truly 108. I say that slowly because even I am sometimes surprised. 108 winters, 108 summers. I have watched children grow old. I have buried friends. I have seen the world change in ways I never imagined. And yet here I am, still walking, still thinking, still waking up each morning with purpose. People ask me the same question again and again. How did you live this long? They expect something dramatic, a secret medicine, a rare supplement, some hidden formula. But the truth is much quieter. It lives in my kitchen. It lived on my plate for decades. 7 simple foods followed me through most of my life. I did not realize they were protecting me at the time. I was just eating what felt right, looking. Back now, at 108, I see the pattern clearly. Let me take you back to when I turned 70. That was the first time I truly felt my age. My knees began to ache when I stood up. My back felt stiff in the mornings. If I worked in the yard too long, I needed a full day to recover. Some of my friends were already slowing down in a serious way. Some stopped walking regularly. Some stopped caring about what they ate. I remember sitting alone at my kitchen table one morning, sunlight coming through the window, a simple breakfast in front of me, and I asked myself a quiet question. If I am lucky enough to live longer, how do I want to feel? Not just how long I wanted to live, but how I wanted to feel, strong or fragile, independent or dependent, clear-minded or confused. That morning I decided to pay attention, not to follow trends, not to chase extreme diets, just to notice what made my body feel steady, and I kept returning to the same foods. The first one has been with me almost every morning for over 40 years. Oats, a warm bowl of oats, plain, simple. Sometimes topped with fruit, sometimes a few nuts, but mostly plain. When I was younger, I loved heavy breakfasts, large portions, rich food. After 70, those breakfasts made me tired. I felt sleepy before noon. Oats felt different. They were gentle. They did not weigh me down. They gave me slow, steady energy. Why did oats matter? Because they stabilized my mornings. No sugar spikes, no sudden crashes. My hunger stayed calm. My mind felt clearer. Over time, my weight stayed steady without much effort. Stable mornings turned into stable days. Stable days turned into stable years. That quiet stability may have added more years than I realized. The second food is humble. Beans, black beans, lentils, chickpeas, nothing fancy, nothing expensive. I grew up eating beans because we did not have much money. They were common at our table. As I grew older, I realized they were powerful. After 70, muscle begins to disappear quietly. If you do not protect it, it leaves you. Beans helped me keep my strength. Why did beans matter? They supported my muscles, and muscle protects balance. Balance protects independence. Beans also kept me full longer. I did not snack constantly. I did not crave sweets as often. They helped my digestion stay regular. Strength is not always built with expensive food. Sometimes it is built with simple bowls shared with family. The third food was once my least favorite: leafy greens, spinach, kale, collard greens. When I was young, I pushed them aside. After 70, I began adding them slowly. A handful in soup, a small side dish at dinner, lightly cooked, nothing dramatic, just consistent. Over time, something changed. My joints felt less stiff. My body felt less swollen. I moved more comfortably. Why did greens matter? They helped calm inflammation. I did not know that word at the time. I only knew I felt lighter. As the years passed, I noticed I could move more freely than many of my peers. Those greens were working quietly behind the scenes. The fourth food entered my life later: olive oil. I grew up using butter generously, thick spreads on bread, butter in the pan. But in my 70s, I began replacing it little by little. A drizzle of olive oil over vegetables, a touch on bread. Used gently in cooking. Why did olive oil matter? My doctor noticed small improvements in my cholesterol. My blood pressure stayed steady, but more importantly, it became a daily habit. Small daily habits create large long-term results. A simple drizzle each day for 30 years adds up in ways you cannot see immediately. The fifth food sits beside me even now. Nuts, a small handful each afternoon. Almonds, walnuts, sometimes peanuts, never too many, just enough to fill my palm. Why did nuts matter? They kept me from reaching for cookies. They satisfied hunger without causing a crash. They provided healthy fats that support the brain. At 108, mental clarity is precious. I still read. I still write small notes. I still remember stories from decades ago. I believe those healthy fats helped protect my mind. The sixth food came from the sea: fish, not fried, not covered in heavy sauce, simply baked or lightly grilled once or twice a week. Why did fish matter? My joints felt better. My mood felt steadier. My thinking felt sharper. Doctors speak of omega fats. I only know how my body responded. When I skipped fish for long periods, I felt the difference. Sometimes your body whispers. You must listen carefully. The seventh food is colorful: fruit, berries, apples, oranges, whatever was fresh and in season. As I aged, I avoided heavy desserts, but fruit satisfied my sweet tooth. Why did fruit matter? It kept my digestion regular. It provided vitamins without heaviness. It replaced processed sugar. Sweetness from nature feels clean. Sweetness from factories feels heavy. Now let me tell you something important. It was not just the foods. It was the repetition, the pattern. I returned to these foods again and again. Week after week, year after year, decade after decade. I did not eat perfectly every single day, but I stayed consistent. Consistency is more powerful than perfection. I also followed one simple rule. I stopped eating before I felt completely full. When you are young, you ignore fullness. After 70, overeating steals energy. I learned to stop when I felt satisfied, not stuffed. That small habit alone may have added years. I avoided large late-night meals. I avoided constant snacking. I avoided too much sugar, not because someone forced me, because I felt the difference. After I turned 100, doctors became curious. After 105, even more curious. Now at 108, they still ask. They expect a complicated answer. I give them a simple one. There is no secret supplement in my kitchen. Just a simple grocery list. Oats, beans, greens, olive oil, nuts, fish, fruit, and patience. If you are 50, 60, or 70, please understand this. It is not too late. Your body still responds. Your cells still repair. Choose one food. Add it consistently. Remove one harmful habit. Repeat daily. Longevity is not built in one dramatic year. It is built quietly over thousands of ordinary mornings. I am 108 years old. I still enjoy my breakfast. I still taste fruit with gratitude. I still wake up and look toward the sunlight. Long life is not loud. It is built slowly at the kitchen table, one simple meal at a time. If tomorrow morning comes for you, make one small change. Years from now, you may look back and realize that change carried you farther than you ever expected. And perhaps one day you will sit in your own chair, telling your own story of simple foods that quietly protected your life.